it's me, and today I have some new products to share with you. L'Oreal was so kind and they sent a little package for me. These are some of L'Oreal's newest releases that came out over the summer, and yeah, I'm super excited to share them all with you. So to start off, I am wearing as many L'Oreal products as I could on my face. I'm wearing their foundation that they sent me. I'm using only the eyeshadow from one of the quads that they sent. I'm using their lip palette and also the mascara primer. I do want to go through all of these things and show you all the swatches. I did swatch them all for you just so you can kind of get a feel of everything and what colors. I will tell you what I like and what I dislike. There's definite things that I did dislike out of the collection that they sent, but let's jump right in. So starting off with the lipsticks, there are 6 different pinks that are all supposed to be kind of fit to match any skin tone. They are all based around these 6 spokeswomen that they have. So you have Leah, J-Lo, Blake, Julianne, Eva, and Doutzen. Doutzen? I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correct, but the idea is that there are 6 different shades of pink to basically match every woman's skin tones. So if you like wearing pink lipstick, you'll be bound to find a shade that matches you pretty well in this collection. So starting off with the Julianne, this is a very light, almost petal pink. I think this is fit more for more fair toned skinned women. I think anybody could probably pull it off, but for me it's a little bit too light. It is very nice though. All of these, I will say just right from the get-go, swatch very, very nicely. I will say that some of them do resemble each other, I noticed, but for the most part they are very, very beautiful. They are subtle changes, but this light pink one I think would be perfect for a fair toned skin. Like I said though, for me it's a little bit too light, just in my taste for me. But this is again called the Julianne, which Julianne has very light skin. I believe she's got very light pale skin and red hair, so I see why this would be perfect for her and definitely why it was named after her. Next, moving on to Eva. This is probably one of my favorites out of all of them, and it makes sense because Eva Longoria is a little bit darker skinned, kind of like me, at least now while I'm tan from summer, but this is a very beautiful kind of light mauve-y pink. It swatches very, very well. The smell of these are very, very nice. It's very pleasant. It's not too perfumey. It's not like florally. I tried these on and they don't taste bad either, which you guys know me. I'm very picky about my lip products, but the Eva is definitely one of my favorites. I see it being a very wearable, just kind of casual color for me to wear throughout the season. And then the J-Lo was another one of my favorites. Again, it is a little bit darker. It doesn't swatch as dark as it looks though. It is a very pigmented color, but I wouldn't say that it's completely opaque. Like you can still, it goes on a little bit sheer, so it's not like overwhelming. Like you see the color and you're like, holy cow, that's plum, but it really, it has a very nice, like, it's got a very nice color to it. It's not overwhelming. This is gonna be perfect for fall if you're looking for a nice plum color, but you're kind of a little bit nervous about the really darker ones. This one would be perfect for you. And like, I really like the way they swatch, and they're just very, very beautiful. Moving on to Doutzen. I cannot pronounce that name. I have to look up. This one is also very pretty, but is definitely not for me. This is for somebody like my friend Brittany who can pull off these kind of bright pinks. I definitely can't, but I do think that this would look better on fair or way darker toned skin. For me, who's somebody in the middle, I think it's just a little bit too distracting, but it is very beautiful, and again, I will be passing this on to my friend because I think it'll look gorgeous on her. Moving on to Leah or Laya, I'm not quite sure how she pronounces it. This is another brighter pink color. It is a little bit more of a reddish hue though, so I think I could pull this off. It would be a very fun color to wear, especially during the summer, but it is a very, very, very beautiful color. It is very similar though to the Blake, which I'm gonna show you guys next, I noticed. At least its swatches. They look different when you look at them, but when you swatch them on your hand, they are very similar. So I do think I'll be able to pull this one off, and it is very, very pretty. So last but not least is the Blake. Again, I told you the swatch is very similar, I think, to the Leah. It's just a little bit more brighter pink. So I'd say this one fits in the middle of the Doutzen and the Leah. Like if you like those or between those, this is perfect for you. It's more of a pink, like pink, but it's not like bright pink like the Doutzen. I really wish I could pronounce her name. So if you're not sold on one or the other of those, maybe try the Blake. It's right in the middle, but it is very, very beautiful. Next, moving on to the L'Oreal foundations that they sent me. They sent me the 24-hour infallible foundations. They are actually really nice. It's been a long time since I've tried a drugstore foundation, so I was a little bit nervous, especially because the 3 different colors that they sent me, none of them matched my skin tone. But I've not tried one in a while, and these were actually really, 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 really nice. The claims to these products is that the finish is going to be radiant, wear up to 24 hours, coverage is medium, texture is air light, and you'll never ever feel dull or greasy. Now I haven't been wearing this for that long. I've had this on my face probably about 4 hours right now. It looks really pretty, guys. Like, it's very, very beautiful. They sent me 3 different foundations. The first one is in Cocoa, which was $212. They have 12 different colors, so I'm assuming this is the deepest out of the 12. This one was very, very pretty. It was a very pretty, just bronzy, deep color. It swatches really, really nicely. This might actually make a really good bronzer. If some of you guys like to use liquid, you know, bronzers, I think you could probably pull this off as using it as a nice bronzer. They also sent me Classic Ivory, which is $201, which is probably the lightest, I'm assuming 1 to 12 out of the 12 of their shades. This one, again, very nice. The texture was across the board the same for all 3 foundations. And then the last one they sent me was $207, which was Sand Beige. So I'm assuming Sand Beige is probably in the middle, and that's kind of the realm that they gave me, and I'm happy that they did, because Sand Beige is actually what I used on my face today, but I put 2 drops of the Cocoa in there. So I combined 207 with 2 drops of 212, fit my skin tone perfectly, and I think these 2 colors combined can take me year round, and I can just kind of adjust how much of the Cocoa I add to my foundation. But I think it ended up looking very, very beautiful. My face feels really good. It doesn't feel heavy. There's nice coverage. This is probably the heaviest amount of coverage I usually wear. You guys know I kind of like more light, but I definitely like the way this looks. I haven't been wearing it for 24 hours though, but I mean, so far it's really beautiful. So I would highly suggest looking into these. They're super affordable. The price points on these are great because it's drugstore, but you really do, I mean, these are really nice. You get a good product with them. The next thing they sent me were the Color Riche LA lip palettes. These were amazing. I have always steered away from these type of lip palettes just because they remind me too much of those, you know, the kid ones that you see in the drugstore aisles that I used to use that just looked terrible or tasted terrible or dried out my lips or made my lips look like a hot mess. So I've always avoided them. I don't know why, I just have. And I'm so happy they sent these to me because they have changed my mind completely on lip palettes in general. They sent me the 3 different shades. First one was in pink, which was 01. All the colors swatched very beautifully. So what they have in here are creams, they have 2 mattes, and then they have a highlight. The highlight is gorgeous. I kind of was looking at them like, why do I need that highlight color? But I put it on the insides of my lips today, and it just made the biggest difference. It made my lips look fuller. It made them look more like, I don't want to say interesting looking, but definitely more like they were prettier. Like, they were definitely prettier, and I didn't feel like my lips dehydrated whatsoever using them. But the Pinko one is very, very beautiful. I think it can match like a multitude of skin tones, but that is what I'm using today. I actually combined a few different colors. I used the second kind of like a nude pink on a entire part of my lip. Then I used the highlighter in the center of my lip, which was gorgeous. And then I used another color from one of the other palettes to kind of deepen out the outsides of my lips. So I really did actually work on my lips today, and they look like, I think that they look amazing. Like, I know I'm like kind of tooting my own horn right now, but I really love these products because you can mix and match. The next color that they sent me were in purples. This is the Plum 02 palette. This one is really, really pretty. I will say there's a lot of colors in here that I will probably never touch, but I did use the darker plum color at the end to deepen up the outsides of my mouth, like I said. So you can use the colors just combine with others if you don't like one of the colors completely by itself, and I really, really like that about these kits. And then the last one they sent was the Nude 03 palette, which this one is really pretty. I did not use it today, but I did swatch all of them, and the highlighter in this one is really pretty too. Even if you just use them on their own or on top of any other lipstick, they're so pretty. Like, I'm forever now going to be highlighting the inside of my mouth because it's just like, it just glows. Like, it's just amazing. Like, it's beautiful. So they actually have little guides on the back, so that way you can, you know, try different things. Like, they tell you kind of what colors to use to get a certain color lip. But I myself didn't look at those. I just kind of experimented on my own, and it just turned out really, really nice. And they're not super goopy or thick, so if you put one on top of another, like say you go crazy and you want to do 5 different colors, no problem. Like, it still looks really, really good. The brush that's included with these is also really, really nice. I am not one to like the applicators, nor do I use the applicators that come with any of the palettes I've ever bought. Even the high-end like $60 something quad that I own, I don't use that Dior little applicator. Like, I never use them. These applicators for the lip products, so nice. Moving on to the largest part of this collection is the Color Riche Pocket Palettes. Now, these are basically eyeshadow quads. It says in the information that they sent me that there's 8 different quads. I got 8 quads, but 2 of them were actually this same quad, so I'm not sure what that last 8th quad looks like because I did get a duplicate. I was talking to my friend Sam and she too got a duplicate, so I'm not sure. I can't swatch or show you guys or tell you guys about that quad, but I can tell you about the other 7 that I received and how I feel about them. The first quad I got was the Avenue des Roses 102. This is basically your pinks. It's got a brown, it's got a matte, it's got satin finishes. I don't like this one. I will honestly say that the pigment was not that great with them. I felt like they were pretty dry. I felt like they dragged on my skin. I wasn't a huge fan of this one, which I was kind of upset about because when I saw it in its packaging, I thought that pink looks gorgeous. That's gonna be perfect for me. I did use the lightest pink, however, out of this. That's kind of a matte finish on as a base for my eyeshadow today. But again, it was very powdery and it wasn't what I hoped it would be, but it was usable. So I was not impressed necessarily by this one, but they are beautiful colors. The next one I tried after that was 106, which was the Boudoir Charm. This one, by far, was my favorite of all of them. I was so impressed by it. I'm actually wearing it today on my eyes. They were creamy, they were pigmented, there was no dragging whatsoever. I absolutely love this quad. If you're gonna buy one of these quads, this one is the must-have to have. Again, it's the 106 in the Boudoir Charm, and I did use it on my eyes today, and it is just gorgeous. I love it. It applies very, very well. And I can't say enough good things about this one. Moving on to 104, this is French Biscuit. This was another one that I was super excited about and then was super disappointed about after I swatched it. Now there were 2 colors in here that I did like. I liked the bronzier of the color, and then I did like the pinkier of the color. The one that I was super excited about was kind of that grayish blue steel shimmer color at the bottom, and it just was a disappointment. Not only was there a lot of glitter fallout, but it dragged, it wasn't very opaque, it was very streaky, it was not very good. Same with the lighter brown, it just was not, it was same thing, very, very dry, and it just kind of dragged across my skin. It wasn't nice at all. Next, moving on to Silver Couture. This one was actually one that I did kind of like. The silver in it is gorgeous. Actually, all of the satin and the shimmer shades were gorgeous in this one. The only one that I did not like was the matte one. So 3 out of 4 isn't too bad with this one. The only thing though about this quad is that it's not something that I would wear alone. Like if I bought this quad, I would need another quad to complement it or another shadow to complement it, because you do have, you know, either really dark or super light and shimmery. There's no like a lighter matte in here to kind of work, you know, as a base. There's not a great shading shade in here. So this is one that if you bought it, you'd probably want to pair it up with something else. Whereas the Boudoir Charm, you can just use that quad and get a full eye look out of. So again, I did like 3 out of 4 of these though, so that's a step up from the last few. But yeah, so that one's that color. The next color, 112 Avant Garde Azure. I hated this one. I'm just gonna flat out say I hated this one. Not only is it just not colors that I would wear on my eye, but none of them swatched very well in my opinion. I just think this one was a huge disappointment, and I just am not a fan of this. But again, this is not colors that I would necessarily go towards, so I feel like I'm a biased opinion on that. But I wasn't super impressed with this quad. Next after that, I tried 114, which is Violet Amour. I swatched this one, and again, I was impressed with maybe one of the colors here. Most of the purples though were absolute poop. I was actually FaceTiming with my friend Lisa, and she was talking about how she had bought some of these quads, and that the purple one she didn't like because it just was dry and not very opaque, and I totally agree. I swatched these and I was just like, these are terrible. So I would highly suggest, like if there's one quad that I would suggest staying away from, it would be this one, and then also the blue one that I just showed you guys. Those two I think are just not worth buying whatsoever. But you know, I do like the purples though. Like you look at it and you think these purples are gonna be really beautiful, but the formulation of them is just not very good. Now last but not least is the 116, and this is the Haute Couture? Haute Couture? I cannot pronounce that. Hazel. And this one again is one that I was super excited about. I thought it was gonna be gorgeous, and some of the colors impressed me, but most of them did not. Again, it was just the formula. It's weird, you know, some of them were just really, really good, but most of them were not that good. I'm a little bit disappointed with these quads, only for the fact that only one of them blew me away, and only one of them had all 4 shadows that were consistent and were really, really nice. You know, some of them had like 2 that were nice, some of them that had 3 that were nice, some of them had 0 that weren't nice. Only one of them had all 4 that were usable, and I think that's pretty disappointing when it comes to just, you know, you're buying 4 different shades. You want all of them to work, you know, so I don't know. I'm being very picky though. I like creamy. I like, you know, I can't do, because I have monolids, you guys know I need to blend really well. So when it comes to mattes and them dragging, I can't have that, else my whole eye will just look muddy. So in my opinion, I was disappointed with this collection. Not the colors. The colors were very beautiful, but just the formula. So if they improved on the formula on all the other ones, I think they would be great, and I would suggest buying all of them. But for now, the only one I would suggest buying is the Boudoir Charm. This one, again, like the formula, let me show you up closer. The formula was just really beautiful, and they just went really nicely on my eyes, and I just think it just made for a very beautiful look, very wearable, and I really liked this one. So I would highly suggest getting the Boudoir Charm 106, but the other ones I can just say I tell you to pass on. I will say though that this little inner corner color right here, that's the only thing that is not from this palette, and then of course my pink base, I did use that other one from the 102 Avenue des Roses palette. Yeah, this one is the only one I would suggest. And I would maybe suggest the Avenue des Roses as a complementing palette to use with it, because you do have some lighter mattes. But again, I wasn't blown away by this. So you could probably buy a single from L'Oreal or from other companies. I don't know. But again, this is the only one. Can I say that enough? Like, I just really like this quad. Like, this is going into my everyday use because it's really pretty. Next, moving on to the eyeliner they sent me. They sent me the Infallible Sculpt Liner. This, I just can say I was not impressed with whatsoever. I don't really understand the tip of it, like the ball at the end. This just did not blow me away whatsoever. Maybe somebody who is not monolid would really like this, but I really need a fine tip to make sure that I can get into the inner corners of my eye, because I do, you know, I do have hooded eyes. It also dragged across my eyeshadow. I'm not sure if it's because the type of eyeshadow I was using, but I was using the L'Oreal eyeshadow, so if those two things don't work together, that's kind of silly. But it did drag across my eye when I was trying to apply it, so it kept skipping. And then not only that, but it took a while to dry. Like, it took a while to dry. So for somebody who's monolided, again, I would have to just kind of sit here like this forever. Whereas the eyeliners I normally use dry pretty quickly. So I would say for me and monolids, I would say pass on this, but maybe for somebody who likes a thicker eyeliner who doesn't have hooded eyes, this might be perfect for you. I just wasn't blown away for this, and again, this is just not for type of eyes I have, this just didn't work for me. So it might work for somebody else, but for me, I'll pass. Last but not least, they sent me the Voluminous Primer Mascara. This stuff is supposed to make your eyelashes more full, it's supposed to make application better, all of that good stuff. Basically what primers do. I can't really say that I saw a huge amount of difference. I used the Better Than Sex Too Faced Mascara. Maybe if I would have used the other mascara that goes with this, I would have seen more of a difference. But I can't, honestly, to be 100% honest, I didn't really see much of a difference using this versus not using it. So I don't know. I myself wouldn't probably add this to my regimen just because it didn't really do anything for me, but I have really silly eyelashes too, and I just want to again go over that this is just my opinion on these products. Personally, stuff that works for me sometimes doesn't work for somebody else, and vice versa. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt and know that these are just my personal opinions. So with that being said, again, this is not something that I would add to my regimen, but I wouldn't say don't try it because I think that it might work for somebody else, just because I have always had really weird eyelashes. I did try it. It didn't make my eyelashes any worse. I just don't see it being something that I would spend my money on and add that extra step to what I'm doing. So there you have it. There is my review and kind of thoughts and swatches on all of these things that L'Oreal sent me. They did send me these things for free, but again, I always want to be honest with you guys. There's nothing worse than getting reviews from people who are afraid of saying bad things about companies. You know, just because I don't like some things though doesn't mean I don't like the company. You guys know I love L'Oreal skincare line. I love their masks. I love all those things, and I was blown away. I love the lipsticks. I love these LA palettes. I love these. I'm gonna add these to my like daily what I'm doing. I love these. I love the foundation. Like, the foundation just looks gorgeous. Like, and it's drugstore. You know, you guys know I buy all my foundation and all of that junk at Sephora. Like, this looks really good, I think. You know, I loved those things, and I love that quad. Just everything else just wasn't a winner in my book. They weren't things that I really liked and that I you know, I just didn't like them. I hope these suggestions were good for you. I hope if you're on the fence about trying some new L'Oreal products, I hope that these swatches and my opinions helped. But again, sometimes you won't know something until you try it yourself. I will say the eyeshadows, the way that they swatched as you guys saw them, those speak for themselves though. Like, maybe don't try those. But in regards to the eyeliner and the mascara, don't cross those off your list completely just because I said they didn't work for me, because they may work for you because you have a different eye shape, you have a different skin, you know, type, you have different eyelashes. So, you know, but the eyeshadows, maybe steer away from, unless it's, again, like that boudoir charm. I mean, I love it. Like, I can't, like, I want you guys to just stare into my eyes because that's how obsessed I am. And you guys know I don't like to be this close to the camera, but I just, it's so good. Probably get closer so you can see my foundation too, but my foundation just went on really, really well. And my bronzers and everything else layered really nicely on it. There you have it. Thank you, L'Oreal, for sending me these great products. I love playing with new things and I love bringing new things to you guys. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and how you feel about them below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like videos like this, if you want me to keep bringing you these like honest kind of swatches and new things and all of that. Like, I've really had fun doing more reviews for you guys. And again, if you go out and you buy something because of this review, let me know, and let me know if you love it, let me know if you hate it, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's start some conversations. I love talking to you guys. You know I end my night commenting back to you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you as always for watching. Your support, your comments, your thumbs ups, your just constant positivity just really makes my day and keeps me going here. And I just really appreciate and love you guys. So I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye.